All right. It's been a little bit. Last week we got stood up. That's a whole different story. But welcome to the pod. Derek's not here. Derek's immune system, I like to say, sucks because I feel like he's always sick. But we're joined with the guys from SmartGrip. We got Jared and Matt. Jared's been on the pod before. We're excited to talk about SmartGrip, their advancements, and then their special announcement, which I've actually been testing, and I really do enjoy it. Um, but I'm not going to be the one to introduce it. Let's bring on Jared and Matt.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
And
Thanks for
Matt,
having us.
absolutely. Matt, you were saying you weren't on the last one, so welcome. Jared, good to have you back.
Thanks for having me again.
So, how's the day?
I didn't play golf today, which is fine. It's been raining the last 2 days here in Minnesota. Um, I had to do a photo shoot yesterday in the rain, so like I'm a little over it. It's like I just hope my cameras aren't broken. Moral of the story. But let's talk about SmartGrip. So to like a brief recap of what it was for those who didn't listen last year. I think it's really cool. And then we kind of talk about where you guys are going with it. And then kind of the big announcement you guys wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think I'll start out. I mean, a lot has happened since we last talked. I think it was about 15 months ago or so.
I've noticed.
A lot has happened since then, and a lot of exciting things. Matt, I'll let you chime in whenever you feel appropriate, especially when we start talking about some of the iterations we've made. At the time, if I remember correctly, we hadn't shipped any of these out yet. It was still being we had backers on Indiegogo. The campaign had been fully funded, and we were now in the production phase.
Yes,
So-
you're right. You're right. That's where we were at.
So
It was chaos. It was chaos. I think that might have been why I wasn't on, because I was so busy trying to build smart grips for the
by
customers.
hand. He's making them
By
by
hand.
at his house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Dinner table assembly.
very dedicated.
That's pretty cool though. It'd be like somebody handmade this, and then it's like, yeah, I did. Eating dinner with the family and your like tendies and fries and stuff like that.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, by the end of that first production run, everyone in my house was quite annoyed at the disaster that was laid out across the dinner table and into the living room, trying to box everyone's stuff up and all their bonus gifts that went through Indiegogo. But it was certainly a learning experience, and it was pretty fun, and a really great way to get new people interested in your technology across the world, is what amazed me. Something like Jared, it was like 13 different countries that we shipped the first generation of the SmartGrip to, which is pretty neat.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's neat to see the interest. And if we think about our campaign and our goals for the campaign, we wanted to know if this was a valid idea, right? We wanted to, is this something people actually want? We had the idea. We could have come up with the money ourselves, right? And had zero validation from anyone and just kind of did this for ourselves. But the route we decided to take was let's see if there's some validity to it. And there was, like Matt said, all around the world. It's been exciting to sort of see it grow like that and sort of take off in its own right. Some areas of the country actually ordered it more than others. It was really interesting to see just demographically how that worked out. But yeah, it's one of those things. Again, like it was a madhouse. Here we are with orders, hundreds of orders from all over the world, and poor Matt had to somehow package them all up, build them by hand, and figure out all the addresses. And some of these addresses around the world are crazy. Like I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 lines that you have to put in
Totally.
the address. It's like I've been shipping some recently now that I do the shipping, and I'm like, what does this mean? Like how do we ship here? I don't know. I hope it goes to the right place. I mean, it takes like a week to get there, and if it doesn't get there, then it's a big to do. So, but it was fun. It was a really fun time for sure.
Yeah, and to get the feedback from customers as well. Like some people immediately were so excited and they ordered more. They ordered them for their wives or their kids. it's pretty fun to see people excited about something that was just an idea not that long ago to reality, to shipping to their door. It's pretty fun and a testament to all this modern technology with rapid prototyping, how quickly you can build new things today compared to, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. It's just everything can be done at home mostly. It's amazing.
And
So,
like 10 years ago, I mean, I feel like things are just more accessible, easier to do for yourself. The technology's there. Um, but for those who like didn't listen, can you talk about what SmartGrip is? Because I know what it is. Um, Derek knows what it is because Derek had one of the early kind of prototypes. But can you kind of touch on what it is? Because I think it's super cool. I think it's probably the coolest training aid I've ever seen, but I also don't feel like it is a training aid because it's something you can use for your entire kind of golfing career, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that because we get that feedback a lot, right? A training aid is something you'll use and then go perform.
Hmm.
This is something you're actually using as you perform. That's training you at the same time, right? There's no delay in muscle memory of hitting. It's similar to going to a driving range. And you're hitting bombs, and then you have to translate that to the first tee somehow. Like it's different. There's an exchange that happens there. But here you're actually learning as you're doing. So yeah, what it does essentially at its core is teaches you proper grip fundamentals, focused on a stronger grip. The reason I chose a stronger grip is because it's um, more able to fix a slice, solid ball contact, more distance, more accuracy, more consistent. 80 to 90% of the players on tour today use a stronger grip. So you're going to be hitting like the pros do on tour. And you're asking yourself, how the hell can Rory hit it that far? Well, they're using a stronger grip. They're de-lofting the club face and they're hitting the ball. So SmartGrip does all of this without you even having to think about it. So essentially, you put it on, you look for the green light, and you're good to go. So it isn't a training aid, but it is because it is teaching you. It's rewiring those habits, but it's very discreet, very small. Very easy to use. You just put it on and go, and it has immediate results. So what else could you ask for?
And it's super lightweight.
Yeah.
I have one of them right here. Like they're super, super small. It just goes on your glove. I don't know if you want to talk about it yet, but I have the new one that comes with the clip, and then you just clip it on the glove. I've played, I think I did 2 9-hole rounds. Funny enough, the first one I was just like, "This is easy. Like golf is easy. I could go pro." And then I think the second one, I kind of got to myself, and I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And I kind of felt like I got too distracted. But as someone like me who struggles with kind of having a strong grip and slices, the fact that I was hitting just like pretty straight bombs off the tee box, like the first or second hole that I had it, just kind of looking at it, waiting for the green light. I don't want to say you fixed me, but at least now I know what to look for. Um, and I really appreciate it. So I think like the demographics there, the technology is really cool. I don't even notice it's on half the time. Um, I did have an issue getting it all set up, but luckily I was able to call you guys and kind of fix it because as soon as I was like, "Oh, that's it. Oh, perfect." So super cool. I wish I was like, "Oh, I remember the sensor. I forgot to grab a glove, so I don't know how to show it putting on." But it's really cool. I'm happy to have one because Derek was like, "I have one." I was like, "You're not going to share, are you?" And he said, "Nope." So
Well, you can tell Derek that you have the first prototype of this clip. And we are working out the kinks, right? Well, the same thing we did with the Smart Grip on Indiegogo is we even while we were running the campaign, we had people trying it. We want the feedback, and you gave us some great feedback, right? When it comes to usability and how you were able to even get it connected and put on. Does it make sense? And so a lot of these things we're going to take into consideration when we start to go to mass market, right? So you can just tell Derek you got the first universal clip. And yes, that is a big announcement for us. It is the announcement. And why is that so big? Well, up until today, SmartGrip required a special glove. And I think this came up in the podcast before, right? It required a Q Mark glove. Everybody who golfs typically has a glove they like, right? could be Ghost, could be Asher. There's a ton of different really nice golf club brands. And so part of the problem, and again, getting into the market, it's hard enough. So we inadvertently yet intentionally made it harder on ourselves by having a specific glove it had to work for. But it really did help us get into the market, understand the ergonomics and just form factor of the chip itself. So the SmartGrip, once we have that figured out, the next step is this clip. It's a universal clip. It makes SmartGrip compatible with any and every golf glove out there. So I know last time, Dominic, you mentioned you had a glove that you really liked, and now you can use that glove with this clip. It's a huge step for us. Just because it does open up the market to everybody, and future plans to get into other sports, right? So this is all an intentional plan and strategy for us, and so to be able to hit this milestone is pretty big, and allows us to really penetrate the market, get some amazing, even more feedback, right, from our customers on just how it's performing. Like you said, you sort of put it on and you get into God mode. And you're just like, what the hell? Like, I've had people look up at me and be like, what is this black magic? Like, this is not right. Like, I don't know what you just did. But it is, there's so much that hinges on that grip. And if we can make it accessible to everyone who just wants a little bit of an advantage, a USGA approved advantage, I want to add, by the way, we got USGA approved about 8 months ago. So this is legit. You can use it in tournaments. Why not? I already have enough problems golfing in a tournament because I'm already like nerve wracked and like completely, I've got jitters and everything else, right? Hitting a 2-foot putt to hitting my first drive, like all that stuff gets a little easier when you have this. And so it's amazing to sort of see this evolve in the way that it has. And then just, due to some good persistence and I'll turn it over to Matt here, but some amazing like iteration on the production side. Like, how do we get from where we were when we talked 15 months ago to this idea that's a chip that magnetically connects and, has its flaws, to something now that is now compatible and very secure and very reliable, very lightweight. There's a lot of perks to it now just on the hardware front and just how we use it. So kudos to you, Matt, for a lot of the iteration. I don't know if you want to get into some of that, but that was a journey, I know, for him for sure, because hardware is hard. There's a saying in the industry, right? Hardware is hard. So it's hard for a reason, because there's a delay. You can't get the feedback, make the update, push the update, and the software is better, right? That's the software. And hardware, you've got to really think about it because it's a very expensive update, right? So you really have to be thinking about these things. And Matt's done an amazing job iterating on the hardware. So I'm really glad that Matt's been on board and part of this journey, because we've had, I think, a dozen iterations in the last 15 months. So it's about one a month if you think about it, which is impressive.
Yeah. Like, it seems like I live in the Silicon Valley, and everything that's startup here is software as a service. And so the nice thing about that is, they're just developing a new piece of code, not to take away from the effort in that, but like you can get immediate feedback. Whereas with hardware, it seems like the iterations, which was about 10 or so iterations from that first one we sent you guys till today, was, it's a let's try something, see if it works kind of, not good enough, or get feedback from friends. Hey, try this. What do you think? And really, like, some of the first changes from a magnet connection to a clip connection was, some people just have a swing off the tee that is incredibly powerful. And so much so that even a really high power magnet will not hold it on. And so we basically had to come to the decision to go with a clip instead of a magnet attachment. And that basically fixed all of that. That, and then just making the assembly simplified so that we can still hand assemble these quickly, so that they're precise, clean, like a professional manufacturer would do. That was a lot of it. And then some of the sensors that are internal, there's a lot of minute adjustments to get things to work how we need them to work, so that everyone has the best experience. So I don't know, it's been fun. And I've had a few friends that have helped me, that I've worked with in the professional industry in the Bay Area, that have been life-saving. And like I said, rapid prototyping with 3D printers is a lifesaver, to be able to go, I've got this idea, you have that idea in 2 hours. Does this work? Nope. Let's try again. So I just can't imagine having to depend on some manufacturer out of state to make these things for you, to build a rapid prototype in 1 year like we have. So it's been pretty exciting to get there.
Are they 3D printed?
They are.
Oh, so that I was trying to figure out what kind of material it was. So I was like, oh wow, it's super lightweight and it kind of has like a good texture to it.
Yeah.
Um, that explains it.
Yeah. It's a very high end 3D printer. Not the gray one that you have, not the prototype. That's like a home one. But yeah,
Yeah.
the black, the actual
Yeah.
production one is a
Yeah.
higher end. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a higher end printer. So
Yeah.
it's
No,
amazing what they can do.
yeah. It blows my mind. I can barely like. I shouldn't say that. Sometimes I like struggle to like turn on my computer. Like I had to push a power button twice today, and I thought I screwed up. Um, so I can't imagine using like a 3D printer. Um, but yeah, no, it's super easy. So like I have the clip right here, little
Mhm.
magnet, and then here's the sensor. So it's super small, super lightweight. I like that these have the little hook on it because like you were saying, like I couldn't use my favorite glove, which now I have a couple favorite gloves. So it works with all of them. And all you do is you just slide it on the notch and boom, like super easy. I believe Jared said when it flashes green a few times, good to go. It's connected, and then you just throw it on your glove. So what I
Yep.
was doing wrong, and I'm sure other people probably will do it wrong, is I had it on sideways. So I had it on like the strap. So I was like, oh, that's out of the way. And then I'm like, I couldn't get it. And then I had to put it like vertically. And that fixed it like that. And I was like, that is the weirdest thing ever, but I feel like a god. And then I went out and just smoked everything, which was kind of weird.
Well, and we'll be sure to update the little quick start guide inside of the box itself. These clips will come with SmartGrip chips too, so they're going to come included, much like a dongle would, or before when Apple used to do that with their iPhones. But now they just make a ton of money off of them. But it will
But
come included. It will be much smaller, I think, and it'll what you have. I think it's a prototype, right? It's a little clunky. It's going to feel a little big. And once these get into production, they're going to be much different, higher quality, a little bit smaller, more snug, ergonomic, all that stuff. So, yeah, that type of feedback was interesting, and it helps me, when I create these inserts or create anything, whether it's on the website or on the quick start guide printed out. It's very helpful for me to know from an illustration standpoint, like how can I best communicate this to our customers? So when they can put it on, it's real simple and easy to use. I've been using the clip as well. And I'm very curious if you using it, if you created any sort of behavioral trends, patterns, like were there habits that you started? So for me, I actually kept it on the clip and actually removed the clip. Like the chip was on the clip. That was it. Like, and I would never take it off there. I would just take the clip off my glove and put it in my pocket. Right. So whenever I was up to the drive, then I'd just slip it right back into the glove strap and it'd be ready. But then I just always left it on the clip. It was a very interesting thing that I noticed. And when we build these things, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for like, what are like naturally do I want to do with these things? Right. It's like, and that's what I really love about this product and really anything I've worked on and any company I've worked for, like really getting in there and being like, okay, what happens when I do this over and over and over again? Like what starts to emerge from that experience? What are some of the things that annoy me? Right. Like those types of things. And how can we fix them? And so it's only by taking it to the golf course, golfing with it, like eating your own dog food, they'll say in the software industry, but really experiencing it yourself. So I'm curious, Dominic, if there's anything you notice. If not, that's fine. Continue to use it and send that feedback in. But very curious with something like this where it is new. No one's going to be used to attaching something to their glove like this. But very interested in how people start to use it, from a functional standpoint and just, behaviorally. So if there's any feedback you have there now or later, we're all ears.
so I don't think I've used it quite enough to like develop habits, right? I have found myself not taking it off my glove though, because I don't even really notice it. I get, you're saying they're kind of big and clunky. To me, it's not too bad. It could just be because I've been using a different glove. I've been using the hidden mitten. Shout out my boy Luke from Backblast. He has his own little Love that he calls hidden mittens, and their checkerboard. They are dope. Basically, they're like extra thick because he just burns through gloves. So he's like, fuck it, I'll make my own. And he's got like extra thick padding and everything. It's a wonderful product. And he gave me one and I love it. Um, but I guess I probably don't notice it because it kind of sits right there. And I'm used to having like a watch on when I play.
Yeah.
So for me, this hand's always a little heavier and it just sits right there. I haven't noticed it. Um, I like that it's on a clip though, and I like that it kind of clicks into place. And I'll put it to the mic and see if I can get it to click. It just to me, that's a good sound. To me, that says I'm not gonna swing super hard and lose it. So I've kind of have like that safety net in my mind where it's like I will not lose this. Um, the only thing I've noticed is now I kind of get in my own head at times where I'm like, am I screwing it up? And then like I kind of lose my grip in a sense. That might just be me trying to like overcompensate. I just have to get used to it. But the first time I kind of forgot I was wearing it, and then that's where I started to really see the change in my swing and the way I hit the golf balls and everything like that. I told Derek that was the first like round. I say round loosely because there's only 9 holes. That was the first round. I didn't lose a single ball. It was just like one after the next.
Yes.
Ball was mangled. Um, Shout out Odin because it's always an Odin ball. Um, yeah, I didn't lose one. I don't know what it was, and I debated on like hitting the kids in front of me because they were like goofing off. I'm like, at this point, I just want to like be done and finish. And I was like, man, I might be able to actually hit him, but I didn't. That devil on my shoulder. But no,
It's,
I like the product and I like that it's a clip now. I think that's definitely a better move.
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll continue to hone on it, or Matt will, I guess I should say, because he does a great job at, like what I said, like what you have is pretty bulky, but Matt, he's got some stuff up his sleeve. We can make this again based on the feedback like you have, right, Dominic? So, yeah, I think Matt, anything you want to add to the clip? I feel like there's so much there that we have yet to untap, but
yeah. I mean, it's just been fun, like a fun project to try to come up with something universal that everyone can use. So it's basically, this all started with using a Q Mark glove, and then we're now at the phase where it's how do we replicate the Q Mark connection on any glove, which is what this sort of is, so anyone can use it. And I've got so many ideas for the future as well, where we can go with this. So it's just fun. It's fun to be a part of the creating something new industry, you know, and just happens to be golf, which is really fun. And, it's fun to hear people getting a benefit from it. That's why we do it. And, even young kids starting to use these, that are new players. It's pretty cool to see. So I don't know. It just seems like a really fun part of the industry to be a part of, you know? So
So like that's kind of what stopped me the first time was I was like, man, I don't want to change my glove for this. Like I'm not like super snobby by any stretch. I mean, like, trust me, I'm not super snobby. Um, but I'm like, I like how my gloves feel. I like knowing I can put it on and like know how it's gonna feel with the grip and everything. So like I just didn't want to have to like change my glove to put on a sensor. Um, Call it lazy, I guess. I don't know. Um, but I love that you can just slide it on, then away you go. My big question is, I don't know if we talked about it, 15 months ago. How long do these last? Like, do they just like have like a nuclear battery in there and they just last forever? Or is it like a double A type deal?
no, that's a good question. We get that question asked a lot, and it is actually something we're looking into, whether it's rechargeable or replaceable. Right,
Mm.
at some point we're going to address the battery issue. But as of right now, I mean, you're talking 50 rounds. That's 1,000 swings. I mean, depending on how good you are, but that's quite a bit, right? And the goal here is to get to a point now where I like to say that, but at the same time, the moment I don't put it on, I slice the ball again. You know, uh, so it is one of those things. Funny enough, right here, I've probably used it thousands of times, and I still will just revert back to old habits. I'll think I have a strong grip, but it's not quite as strong as it needs to be to fix the size. So, but yeah, 50 rounds. I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, I don't know how many people golf once a week, but it's a full year of golf. At some point, yeah, I would love for them to be rechargeable. We do have other versions that we're hoping to make here in the near future. with mobile app compatibility or capabilities, and just be able to store data, share data with instructors, swing data, all that fun stuff. We're absolutely going to need a rechargeable battery at that point, because then it becomes a very, technological sort of accessory that's not cheap. And it does a lot of really cool shit. So we have to make sure that people don't have to just buy a new one. And we want it to last, and we want it to be something people can, use regularly and come to rely on. So, but yeah, I don't know, Matt, if you have anything to add to the battery thing. It's come up, I think, from the very, very beginning, to be honest.
Yeah, it's about 50 rounds when we start seeing dimming. The way that this device works is as it starts to get low on battery, it will start to dim. So we're not really seeing dimming until after 50 rounds, which that's a lot of golf for most people. As long as you're not leaving it turned on, like attached to your glove and moving around all the time, it could last you a couple of years for some people, for sure.
Yeah, like I made sure I was like, I don't want to leave it attached to the glove because with my luck, I'll lose both. Um, I'll throw it in the back of my car and then I'll never see it again. Tends to be how things work with me. Um, so I'm happy that I had that clarified. So that was really like my only real big question, other than like the price point now, if it's gonna be the same, or if it's gonna be a little bit more expensive because it's more universal at this point. But I'm glad it's not like a nuclear battery where like I could like explode or something. That'd be as funny as that would be. I'd be a little scared.
It won't explode. I guarantee you that. On record. And the price is going to stay the same. I think part of this, we're again, going back to the mission, right? And we haven't even really talked about umbrella sports yet.
Oh yeah.
Which is a whole other topic, and we can get into that in a minute. I don't know how much time we have, but
all the time in the world.
Okay, we're on a mission, Dominic, and it's not to making money's great, and I think anybody who has a business understands that. But you can make money doing a lot of things. The goal is to make money doing things you love, and we're on a mission, right? Like, I know that when I tried this, like, it worked, and I know that when I see people try it, it works. So for me personally, it's just super important that we're helping people enjoy golf. That's what it comes down to. We want this to be accessible to everybody. Now, you could say in hindsight, did we intentionally limit it to Q-Mark Glove? I'd love to say we did, because that's really smart and really cool to say, but we didn't. But it has actually worked in our favor, because we had a very limited pool of people we could use and research, right? And sort of say, hey, what's going on, without exposing it to a bunch of people, right? And having a bunch of issues happen. So this really happened in a really amazing way. And it's sort of unfolding. Again, we're just pounding the rock. We're doing the work. And this stuff is sort of happening in front of us. And so for us, just to be able to get to a point now where we feel like the hardware, the actual chip itself, feels lightweight. It feels like it's like I can grip it. It's not going to slip out of my hands in the middle of the round, or it feels durable. The battery is at a place we like it. Now, let's introduce a clip that makes it universal to every golf club. Let's give it to everybody, right? And I think that's the big thing here is just, again, we want people to enjoy playing golf. We don't want you to lose balls and like have to buy sleeves before your round, because golf's expensive as it is already. I don't need to go in there and buy 2 sleeves of golf balls before my round 2. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about how many people can we get to enjoy better golf, and we all want to do it. And what's, it's all a bunch of little things. We understand that. But a large part of it has to do with your grip. So we're super excited with the fact that we're able to create a clip that's low cost, cost to us, cost to the consumer. And quite honestly, it just, again, gives the ability for everyone now to enjoy what you've experienced just in 9 or 18 short holes. I think that's a tremendous achievement. And one that I do want to continue to just point out that Matt's done a great job. Like, he doesn't golf, right? Like, Matt isn't a golfer, if you can imagine that, right? So he's going to take like my ideas and my enthusiasm and sometimes my rough feedback and take that and turn it into something. And he was able to do that really, really beautifully. And so I can't say enough about how he's been able to just sometimes just hear me rant sometimes and sort of somehow take it all and say, okay, well, I'm going to kind of do something. But this clip is, like I said, a great achievement. And our goal is just to expose this to as many people as possible so they can really start to again, it's not going to solve everything. You're not going to be a pro golfer every using it, but it will make it a little more fun and a little more affordable. And you're going to feel a little bit better on the tee box, right? And I think that's what it's all about.
So
Matt,
before we deep dive into like umbrella sports and what the hell it is, what is the price point on this? Just because I think this is super cool, and I think the one thing holding people back from playing golf is, one, you nailed it, it's expensive, but two, it's hard. You get up to that first tee and like you shank it, and I feel like people just get frustrated, and then they're like, I'm not going to play this. So for those of people interested that they might be introduction, new golfers, this is super cool, but I don't remember the price. But it'd be like a cool way to introduce people. The holiday season's coming up, weirdly enough, already. I can't believe it's like October pretty soon. Do you want to say the price? Because I don't remember.
Absolutely. We MSRP this at $99. So we've fluctuated from 129 to 79, and really the sweet spot for us is $99. We feel like we can keep it there without having to, change prices every, whatever month or so. I worked briefly for PXG, shout out, and they did. Bob has a tendency to sort of just randomly change the price of his clubs. So I got to, for me personally, it's like I wanted to find the sweet spot. I was kind of experimenting with that, but I really like the $99. It really does pay for itself within a few rounds. If you think about it, just the pure enjoyment of getting out there and hitting the ball far there's nothing better than hitting that drive, or even just thinking you might hit the group in front of you is really cool to think. So $99. Like I said, it's we do have a discount. It's still valid that we had on our last podcast, save par 20. So if you want to, repost that or however you do that, that's 20% off. So, you'll get another $16 or whatever it is, $18, $20, $20 off that. So now is the time to grab that. We'll have some holiday specials, things like that, but $99 is the MSRP for the most part. You'll see it around that price point.
I feel like that's a good price point because it's something, you could get like your entry level golfer, like your spouse, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, significant other, even your kid who wants to try to play golf, like you get on it, you use the save par code, or you get it on a holiday deal. Boom, it's a good Christmas gift to get that golfer in your life. Definitely not plugging it for Christmas already because we're not there yet. But like, yeah, it's not. It's definitely cheaper than a lot of training aids are. And a lot of the training aids you have to know how to use. Like if someone gave me like those sticks, like the alignment sticks, I have no idea what I'm doing because like I can't aim. Derek fixes my aim almost every round. Like without Derek, I'm hitting the group in front of me every time. So thankfully he's like, stop it. And I'm like, okay. Also, if I could play around a golf with just 2 sleeves of balls, I would be thrilled. So kudos to you if you can do that.
Yeah, and we also have pretty good inventory of Q Mark gloves now. That took a long time. The supply chain is still crazy in the world. So like if people want to try it with the original just connected to the glove without a clip, we have a pretty good inventory of those as well right now if people want to get those at the same time. So
is that more affordable or a little bit more expensive because you get the full glove with it?
Yeah, we're just selling the gloves on our website for people that are having a hard time finding Q Mark, which are a little hard to find.
Yeah, I remember the first time I was like, what the hell is a Q Mark glove?
No one will know until they see it. They're like, oh yeah, I've had one of those. It's like the magnetic ball marker that goes on the glove, the top glove.
Definitely one then.
Yeah. So it's, you've been to those fancy club or those country clubs where they've got their logo printed on the metal ball marker and it snaps off and there's a little magnet on the glove. That is the Q Mark glove. The first time, I had this idea of this chip and it was funny. I was at Silverado in Napa and they had the glove there. And I remember I saw the video and I think I mentioned this in another podcast, but it was like, this is how we get there. Like, this is the shortcut. We're going to use this. And I will say, even to this day, right, you can use the clip, the universal clip on any glove. I still feel like you're going to get the best experience with a Q Mark glove, right? If slightly marginally better, right? Just because it's a one less piece of something to use or put on or attach. It's slightly smaller and it's built for it. The clip itself actually slipped right into the Q-Mark glove. So we do have those on our website now. We have them custom made from Titleist. So they're not they're really good gloves. They're probably the best gloves that Titleist makes. And so you're going to get a metal ball marker with the Umbrella Sports logo. And then you can use your SmartGrip chip with it. And so we have a bundle on our website as well that you can buy the SmartGrip chip and a glove at a bundle price. So you can get them together. So like you said, for someone getting into golf that way, hey, you're going to get of course, you're going to have the clip with the chip itself. So if you have a different glove, that's great, but you're going to have the glove as well in case you need it. So all of that is available on the website.
And I don't want to market it just towards beginners, but I think this is a great tool for beginners. But even for people like me who have played for a handful of years and, I have a podcast about golf and everything like that, it's definitely useful. I know just kind of talking to you guys, I'm brainstorming things that we could possibly lab on in the future, stuff that Derek and I have in the works currently that I haven't really spoken about yet because it's still kind of hush hush, but we'll talk about it after off air. There's all sorts of cool uses for this, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And I'm sure you guys will talk about where it's going to go and Umbrella Sports and everything like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Umbrella Sports. The name change was for a lot of reasons, but the Smart Grip Golf. We said, well, at some point, we said if we have golf in our name, then that means that we would only be able to use our technology for golf. And I was like, what makes us think that it could only be used in golf? Well, that's a good point. So at some point, we decided that having golf in the name maybe wasn't the best if we have this upward trajectory to improve the gameplay of other sports as well in the future. So, I mean, that's kind of how it flowed in your opinion, right, Jared? It's kind of like, hey, why are we limiting ourselves to just golf? That is the game that got us into this industry, but maybe there could be more that's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, I mean, it's true in any sport, right? So like hockey, tennis, baseball, your wrists and your hands just play such a critical role in that, right? So when we get to the point where we're starting to collect data, we didn't want to limit ourselves, and so we really wanted to start the foundation early. One of the primary reasons Louis was brought on, right, was to really help us get this set up for the long term, for the long haul, and be ready to go. And so part of that was a rebrand, and Umbrella Sports, it encompasses the idea of it's umbrella, it's protection, right? It's there to help you. And it's for all sports. And so for us, this SmartGrip is just the beginning. We're really focused on that. I love the industry, obviously. It's a really good niche, a tremendous customer base. I mean, it's probably anyone I've ever met on a golf course, just incredible. So I love working with our consumers or individuals or just anyone who's interested in golf. It's just such an amazing. They're just different people, right? It's like it's so amazing. Sometimes I'll just go and book a single with a threesome or something and just be like, I'm going to meet 3 random people because of the industry, right? And you always come out of there. And I've had some crazy stories we could go on another time, but I'm sure we all have, right? Where we just sort of meet people and we start to just form these friendships. I've got a really good friend, Daryl, who's now actually a shareholder in the company. And I met him on the 3rd hole at a golf course in San Ramon, California. So amazing things happened on the golf course. And so this is just the beginning. We do want to set ourselves up for the future, and we do have plans to do that. So Umbrella Sports was just an opportunity for us to really put that foot down, really, and start to set that foundation early, and make sure we're prepared for what's about to come. So, it's. I didn't know this was a particular way to do things. I don't know what I'm doing. That's again why we brought Louis on to really help us with that, and he's done a tremendous job. But here we are, and SmartGrip is really the flagship product for the company itself, and we're just going to continue to put the pedal to the metal. So,
yeah, well said.
And I grew up playing baseball, so yeah. Before we got on, I was watching the replay. Obviously, big Twins fan. Minnesota, Matt Wallner hit a 463-foot grand slam, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, be cool to see the metrics behind it. Obviously, they have their stat cast and everything, so you can find out the ball angle, the speed of left the bat. you know, everything you want to know about that Grand Slam, you can find it and read about it. But they don't have that at every level. It's a major league thing, it's a triple A thing, it's a, pro level thing. What you guys could do is you could cater that high school, the middle school kids, and tennis would be cool. I'm not into tennis at any stretch of the word. Derek likes it a little bit, but Derek also plays grown up ping pong, which is pickleball to me. Uh, so like he's a little bit more interested in that. So like the uses for this are super cool and it's super broad, which I like.
Cool. Glad you agree. That's how we felt about it. And I don't know, we're just excited. We have a lot of ideas, like we said, where this can go. But right now, the first battle is let's get this in the golfers' hands. Let's improve people's gameplay. Let's let them have more fun, right? Because it's mostly about having fun. And Jared says I don't play golf. I have played golf. I just play very poorly, and I've been very frustrated in the past, mostly in college, playing golf. Maybe a little bit too much Coors Light on the rounds might have been part of the problem. But yeah, but I understand the fun of it all and the playing with other people and having fun and being outside when it's nice, especially early morning when there's dew on the grass. It's a great way to sort of start your day, and have a good time with buddies. So
Yeah,
I
agree. I was going to say the only way to ruin that is to slice the ball once you get out there. So
that's true. That's true. Embarrass yourself.
I actually hate morning golf, so like that is the thing that wrecks it for me. I'm not a morning person. I'd much rather like play a twilight round or like something mid afternoon. But yeah, I mean, just getting out there having fun. Derek and I have talked about this a couple of times. This might be the year that we've played the least amount of golf, but have had the most fun golf experiences we've ever had. Um, like we played golf in California, we played Half Moon Bay, we played the Ocean Course. We've got invited to like 3M Media Day for the 3M Open. So we played TPC Twin Cities in like tournament condition with the bleachers and everything, which was crazy. We found all these little things. Yeah, we were invited out to a cool resort and like they lodged us. We played the new Tom Lehman course here in Minnesota. And, you know, it's amazing what golf can do and what golf can bring you. Even if you don't play very well, like me, Derek would carry me, but I drain more putts than Derek does. So there's that. Um, but
Ooh,
like
burn. Yeah.
he knows that. He knows that, but he's more consistent than I am. So we're the good like 1-2. He's gonna get me there and I'll finish. Um, but it's just amazing what golf can do and what golf can bring you. I'm a big photographer, so like I've got all my cameras or most of them right there. I'm a big fan of Peter McKinnon, and he's Canadian. He's a photographer. He's just like a badass individual. One of his friends was saying that he doesn't like photography, but he likes where photography takes him. And that's how I feel about golf. Like I don't love golf by any means, but I love the people I've met through it. I love the experiences I've gotten to do while playing golf. I love all these different things about it. And I think that is what kind of sets golf apart from other sports.
I
I
agree with
agree.
that.
Yeah, I mean it's about enjoying the moment, right? And you get to these courses. I love Half Moon Bay. Um, previous Legends Club member, actually, with Darrow, who I just mentioned earlier. Funny enough, but we would go there quite regularly, and I absolutely love the Ocean Course. Old Course is great too. I don't know if you've had a chance to play both those tracks, but Ocean Course to me, just being out there, and I'd say what, like 15 holes out of the 18, you're on the ocean. You're right there.
Yeah.
There's nothing better, right? It was Pebble Beach. It was the U.S. Open at Pebble in 2019, I think it was, where this idea was sort of conceived, believe it or not, this whole idea. And I remember walking around Pebble and just how amazed I was at just walking around, just like the golf course and just seeing the beauty that it was. And so, I think a lot of the times we can find that at any golf course we're at too, right? It doesn't have to be on the ocean. It can be any golf course that we're at, and really understanding like what's going on, what's around us, and just just being out there. Sometimes I have to remind myself I'm out here, like I'm golfing. Like what could be better? Like nothing else going on. All I gotta do, and it doesn't really matter if I hit this ball or not, or right, because we're never gonna hit it right where we want. But like I'm out there to have fun. I'm out there to enjoy it. And so I agree. I think it's like it's look where it's taken us.
Mhm.
Think about that. Like it's taken us to this point on this podcast. The sport itself, it wouldn't have happened. We were able to experience these things. So I think it's incredible when you know the way you said that is it's just that we're on a journey, and golf is sort of the conduit and the vehicle to get there. So there's so much about it to me that I've definitely grown a fondness for, and just in general. Not that I appreciate it as much as I probably should, though. I still get on the golf course and I still get really pissed off. So it's part of the game, though.
Oh
It's
yeah.
part of the game. I hate this game. I hate this game. Oh my God, I love this game. Like that is all the golf is. And if you can just learn to just, when you love the game, enjoy it, it's all that matters.
Yeah, we played Half Moon Bay. We had a great group. It was myself, Derek. It was Beard from Sucker Pin Golf Society, and then Brendan from the Duff and Up guys. And like I said, I'm not a morning person, so Derek makes the tea time for like 7, and I'm like, dude, I am
Yeah.
pissed. I'm literally sitting on the couch. I got my hoodie on, and I'm just like don't talk to me. I'm sipping my Red Bull, trying to get something. And Brendan comes up. He goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, leave me alone." And then I hit a quick power nap in the truck to the golf course. Also, if you haven't had their breakfast burrito, get it. It's real good.
Love
Pro
me a
tip,
breakfast burrito.
yeah. Pro tip from someone who's only played it once: get their breakfast burrito. Um, but yeah, we're out there, and I'm like, this is unreal because that was my first time in California, and I think that was my first time seeing like the ocean, like legitimately seeing the ocean, and it was just like it was an unreal experience. And to share that with some of my friends and Derek, who's I consider like a close friend, almost like a brother, um, was one of those like experiences that was just like crazy. Like you're walking out there and you feel like it's just like your group because the course is so big. And then you look off and you're like, there's nothing over there but the ocean. Unfortunately, there's one of the later holes where you can take like steps down to the beach on the ocean course. I almost drilled a lady and like definitely would have made her fall down the stairs. Um, because I had honors and
Ooh.
the sun's right in my eyes. I'm like, I can't see. Hit the ball and they go, Dom, you have to yell 4. I'm like, I thought the ball went that way and it went that way. And I was like, yikes. And then I just hit an absolute bomb. But it's one of those courses that you're just like, this is unreal. Price is definitely justified. Um, because I don't know too many golf courses that I would pay to play there for that amount of money, but worth it. Worth it, worth it, worth it.
It's definitely worth it. If you live in the Bay Area, go get a Legends Club membership. I don't remember what it was, maybe $350 for the year. But every round you get points, and then eventually I think it's every 3 rounds you get a free round, right? So and then you get like 10 or 20% off all the food. It's so worth it because you go out there and they make it even better for you if you can get out there regularly. I sometimes I actually look back and I think I took a lot of it for granted. You know, you're out there and you're golfing there on the ocean, and you just sort of get in your head. You get in your head and you're like, what? You don't realize you're actually out there golfing on an amazing golf course. And actually 16, 17, and 18 on the ocean course are just the best way I've ever ended a golf course. 16 is this beautiful downhill drive. 17 is a short par 3. And then you got this long par 5 to end you off where you have to basically drive over a hill and you don't know where it's going to land, and you just wail on it because no matter what, you're going to find it. And it's just such a beautiful course, like the ocean course itself. And yeah, I recommend it. Anyone listening to this, if you have a chance to go there, go there. You won't regret it.
I dropped an absolute just dart on 17. I was like, I watched everybody kind of hit and miss. I was like, I got this in the bag. Like I walked up super cocky. I'm like, God, if I whiff on this, they're all gonna just like tease me. I hit it and it just went up and just dropped. I was like, perfect. I'm the only one on the green. I love this game. And then the next
Nice
hole,
work.
real quick.
Hole 3. Okay. Hole 3 is another par 3 there. And don't hit it in the sand. I hit it in the sand and it took me, look, I'm pretty good out of the sand. But there, if you're short on hole 3 and you hit it one of those bunkers, you're gonna be there a while.
Mhm.
I couldn't get out. I literally was just like, I gotta pick this up. Maybe it was a bad day. I don't know. But that hole forever stuck in my mind. I always hit it over now. If you hit it short right, you're gonna fall in this little valley. It's really hard to get out of. But for me, I just never want to be short. It just traumatized me. Hitting out of the sand 8 times, could not get out.
There's one hole. I don't remember what hole it was. And I had hit all my shots and I'm at the point where I'm close to the green, but I'm definitely off the green. And I'm like, I'll just putt it. You know, like what's the worst that could happen? You know, I'll either get it close or it'll go in. And like I don't trust myself chipping because it's kind of uphill. I had to probably be like 40, 50, 60 feet from the pin, from the hole. And we've been like taping everybody throughout this entire thing, you know, just getting content, you know, just what guys do. And nobody thought, hey, let's turn the camera on and watch Dom do this. I hit it, it's just perfect, and it just plops right in. And they're like, what did you just do? I'm like, it's in the cup. You guys can finish now. Like I'll be waiting. Um, and then there's another one where it's a big links course, basically. I'm not a fan of links courses for this reason. I'm hitting, and then my ball kind of trails off to the right, and it's on one of them where the green is like way uphill. Um, and the group on the hole that I hit my ball on is going, and they're taking forever. And I was finally just like, you know what? I just want to hit my ball, get out of their way, and I just hit it, and I got the perfect just loft, and it just dropped, and I can hear Derek go, "Whoa!" He's like, I was like, "That's me. It's me.
Yeah.
Don't touch it."
Nice.
Actually, I've been looking at this picture. Um, this is us on 18.
Oh, awesome.
So I have to
Wow, that was a
send.
good weather day.
It was the morning was super foggy, and I was like, "This is wonderful," because I had like a hoodie on the entire time. Um, and then by the time it finished, it was super sunny. They went out for lunch. I went home, took a nap. Um, but it was just like a great experience. I was like, "Wow, it's a lot of money," and then I was like, "I see why. It's so much more than like a golf course, and the fact that it's like public, I think, is unreal."
It's wild.
It's a gem. No doubt. No doubt at all. There's too many memorable holes. Old course, they have this other course we haven't talked about, but like old course is meh.
I haven't talked about it because I haven't played it.
Yeah, you're not missing much. Really, the 17th and 18th hole are the best. Those who have played it know what I'm talking about. But the first 16 holes, yeah, you can get that at your country club, wherever you're at. You don't see much, right? But 17, all of a sudden, you see the ocean, and on 18, you're hitting into a gallery. So everybody who's hanging out there at that hotel is sitting out on the patio watching everybody hit into the 18th green. So you have this whole gallery watching you, and it's nerve wracking, but it's an experience because you get the ocean on the right, you got the green sitting there in front of everybody. Very cool 18th hole, but you have to wait a long time to get there.
Have you ever walked around in the hotel?
No,
I have never felt so out of place in my entire life.
I feel a
Uh,
lot of place walking around the hotel.
I no, we went in it because we're like, we want to get something to drink, so we went in it. I'm in like golf joggers. I've got like a golf hoodie on from Swanee's, not sponsored yet. Um, and I had my Crocs on, and Derek hates Crocs, and he definitely hates my Crocs because they're kind of goofy looking. They kind of look like a nutsack in like a really weird way. But they're based off
Yeah,
of like they're
those
based
are
off
a
like
little satchel. Yeah.
so I'm running around with these things, and I'm getting all sorts of weird looks. And I'm like, I just want a beer. Like they want to eat here. I'm like, I just want a beer. So we're running around the Ritz-Carlton hotel, and I'm in like joggers, a hoodie, and these ugly Crocs that I think are super comfortable. And I have never felt so weird in my entire life. But let me tell you, probably the nicest hotel I've ever stepped foot in.
Damn.
It's an incredible atmosphere. I don't know, Matt, have you ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there just for like drinks and food. It's very, very swanky. It's very nice. But yeah, you definitely had some old ladies like raise their eyebrow at you and side eye you while you're walking
Yeah.
through the lobby, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, we went this year was the 50th anniversary. So I have a ball marker that has the 50th anniversary on it. I got a ball because I get a ball from every new course I play just to hang it up. I don't know. I'm weird. Derek collects pencils though, so he might be a little bit weirder than I am. Um, the one thing I wish I had gotten was like a sticker. I'm weird. I love stickers. Which that reminds me of the sticker in the box for this thing. Sweet, it's killer. The holographic looks really good, and the graphics super fun. I meant to talk about it, but I totally forgot until I wanted the Half Moon Base sticker. Um, so that made me that was good. That's the one thing I regret is not getting the damn sticker.
I used to have a
Yeah.
I used to have a
Go ahead.
sticker book when I was a little kid. Like when I was, you ever have that? Anybody else? I had this like book of stickers that I just put in there. Some of them were scratch and sniff, and some I don't know why that came up, but like I used to have this sticker fetish too. I was like, oh man, I had a whole book where I just basically ruined stickers and put them in the book.
Yeah,
Well, that was the 80s. It was a pretty big deal in the 80s.
I
Yeah,
was
maybe
gonna
that's
say I feel like when you were little, I wasn't even around yet. And that
Yeah.
solidifies that because I was not even a thought in the 80s.
Yeah, the scratch and sniff was like high tech, new tech in the 80s. Yeah.
I know
that
what
was
they are.
Yeah. And the
When
little
I was in
rainbow
elementary,
stickers. Yeah.
yeah, when I was in elementary school, we had smelly markers, but that was before kids were getting high off Sharpies. That was like, man, you could smell this and it smells like blueberries. And I was like, I want to smell like blueberries. Um, that was like the cool thing. That, and then we had gel pens that had like glitter in it. That was like, if you had that in elementary school, you were doing it. And I was like, I need those pens.
Yes, I remember those. Nice.
The good old days.
Yes.
Well, I think we could, I remember in the last podcast when we closed it out, you asked me my favorite meal or something. Was a favorite place to eat? Is that still a thing?
Eh, yeah, but I want to do a new question.
Oh, I was hoping Matt would have to answer that one because I want to know.
Oh, we can still do it. Um, I recently was working on my car, and I like to listen to podcasts when I was working on my car because obviously I did my brakes, and we don't have the luxury of car parts coming off really easily. So I'm in the hammer banging on it with a BFH just to get everything broken loose.
Yeah.
BFH stands for big fucking hammer. I can see
Yeah.
that
You're in the Rust Belt, so yeah.
yeah. So we're banging on it. And then I'm listening to a podcast. It's the You Betcha podcast. They're from like Fargo. So like it's super local to me. Um, they were talking about, how like we have walk up songs for like, baseball and then like we always ask about it for golf. They were talking about like what song would play when they're putting you in the ground, like when you're dead. And the first song that came to my mind was Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony. I don't know why that came to my head, but it fits perfectly. So that's what I'm gonna ask. What would your walk down song be? And I don't take any credit for this. This is all the You Betcha guys. But then we'll definitely end with the food. Don't worry.
Well, if I die in September, it'll be September Rain by Guns N' Roses. How about that? If I die in any other month, I have no idea. Green Day has a really good song, I think. But I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to go down with some AC/DC or something that people aren't expecting. They're just like,
Yeah.
whoa, I'm excited. Like, this just got me pumped up.
Go down with like some song, get you all amped up and jittery.
Yeah, like part of celebrating that. Just celebrate the life, and just like really get into it. But yeah, that's a great question and one that I have to dig through because I'm a huge music guy, and there's so many songs and so many. When they have such deep meaning, it's hard, right? Because they like mean stuff. Like you really kind of get into lyrics, kind of what's going on. But wow, I did not see that curveball coming. That's a great question.
You're welcome. Like I said, when Derek's not here, it's a little bit more chaotic and not scripted. I've decided my funeral, I want it to be a roast where the funeral goers can roast me. Um,
Love it.
the issue is I can't like rebuttal it, so I'm gonna have to like film all my roasts. So then the last thing they hear from me is me roasting them, and then my lift down music will be Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Love it.
Can't wait to die.
Make sure they make sure the mortician puts a smile on your face. You're laughing the whole way through the roast.
Get some fake teeth that just chatter.
A mechanical
That is
arm
that's a really hard question, man. Like, wow, I've never actually thought about that. What will play when I die? I
I
don't know.
didn't think of
Maybe,
it either until
yeah,
I was banging on my brakes.
I don't know. Riders on the Storm. Maybe that'll be mine. Just because I want everyone to be quiet and relaxed, like in the forest somewhere.
I just I just want Bone Thugs and Harmony at my funeral, and that's how I'm gonna do it.
That's perfect. It really is perfect.
What if it was like regulators or something, just random, just something that everybody goes, oh my God, I remember that. Oh,
That'd be funny if it was I'm not a player, but I crush a lot. Uh can't think of I the song came on the other day and I know it's by Big Pun and I can't think of the actual name of it, but it's I'm not a player, but I crush a lot. I think that'd be pretty good to go down with. Um but yeah,
You want people to laugh at your funerals, basically. Yeah, that's good.
it should be fun, right? Because you're celebrating me in my life, and my life is anything but ordinary and boring. It's exciting. Every day is a new adventure, depending how you look at it. Um, I don't know too many other people that have a podcast about golf and things, and I always say emphasis on the things because, like, yeah, we're talking about music we would die to. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely want to throw a little bit of a curveball at you guys and just see how it would go and if we want to use it in the future. Because I don't think I've even told Derek about that question. So let's see if he even listens.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think when I think about my two favorite bands of all time, right? You got Dave Matthews Band on one side, and you got Tool on the other. Can't really get, as far as but what they do have in common is they love to jam. And they're in the moment and when they're on stage and you're watching them. So like I would have to, if I really thought about it, pull from one of those two artists, just because I think, some of it may not be what popular opinion or something, but like, I think at the end of the day, those are really the two favorite bands I've had for the longest time since I was probably even in high school. Just completely like, absolutely. If Tool comes out with something or Dave Matthews comes out with something, I'll just get it. I don't care. I may not even listen to it. I just want to get it. So probably have to go in there. I don't know. What bands do you listen to, Matt? What's your like go-to playlist?
You could do many men percent too.
That's really hard. I grew up on classic rock. A lot of classic rock music. And I don't know, like, I guess I'm just not a purist because I listen to classic rock and I also listen to like 90s hip hop, gangster rap, right? So it was like, I can appreciate a lot of different music. And unfortunately, unlike you, Jared, that loves Dave Matthews, I just like so much music that I can't say that I love one more than the other. It's like song by song for me, unfortunately. It's just how it is.
Yeah, like if you were to be like, Jesus Christ, it's like a racetrack. I don't even know if the mic picked it up. If you were like, Dom, who's your favorite your band? I was like, I don't know. I've seen Kiss live. Kiss is phenomenal live. This past year, US Bank Stadium had like a really cool concert where there was Motley Crue, Poison, Def Leppard, and Joan Jett. I went to that. That was super cool. Poison is rad live. Motley Crue kind of sucks. I shouldn't say that. Vince Neil kind of sucks. And then like Def Leppard, they were okay. I don't know. I wasn't blown away by any means, but like there's so many good options to this question, and I think they're all good. You go funny, you go serious. My music taste is a little weird. It'll go from like, like I love The Weeknd. Like that's probably like the main artist for me.
Me too. Yeah.
But I love him. And then it's just like boom, Pop Smoke, and then boom, Prince being in Minnesota. You gotta have some Prince. Oh, you could have done When Doves Cry.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
My,
Yes.
my favorite Prince song is "My Name Is," and then it's Prince, and then it's him talking about how funky he is. That'd be a good one to die to. Then you have like a funky death with Prince. Oh, I love it.
Amazing.
This is a good
Amazing.
question.
That is a good question. That's a hard one too. To pop on someone unexpected, like, oh damn, what would I want to play when I die? You know?
Yeah, but then if we go into this pre-scripted, it's not fun.
Very true. Very true.
Because then you're gonna listen the whole week to music and you go, "Oh, write that one down," and then I don't know. I don't feel like it's as fun.
I'm doing that on Spotify. Right when we're done here, I'm going to create my own my death day playlist on Spotify.
That's a great idea.
I want to be
Jared.
prepared.
Way to
have
be organized.
You have something like super energetic for when people are walking into the church or whatever you're gonna get married or wherever you're gonna have your funeral. And you have something kind of cold and somber while they're like mellowing out, and then you could just crank it back up as they're lowering you into the ground. That'd be pretty cool. You could do fireworks by Katy Perry as they're spreading your ashes everywhere. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Have
Oh,
like Notorious B.I.G. playing when they're walking out, like Juicy
like,
or something like that.
yeah. You know, Juicy.
What's that?
You could have like Juicy as you're walking in.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just choreograph your entire funeral. Let's get it all and put it in the will. Make sure people do it. Do this or else. These are the songs I want, and when I want them played, I want everybody to experience this the way I would intend.
yep. And it's like when everybody sits down, please crack a beer.
There you go.
I have a buddy that would definitely do it if I died and I asked him to. He would definitely crack open a Busch Light. And he would definitely do it unironically.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I can tell you're from that part of the country because you say Busch Light. That is not a West Coast beer.
Hey, I grew up on
it's like Yingling. It's like Yingling on the East Coast, you know?
Yeah, I've had a Yingling before. But yeah, no, my buddy's got a full garage fridge and it's just Busch Light. It's like he'll unironically crack open a Busch Light at things. I'm like, when I die, the chances are I'll die before him. Because one, I don't want to see my friends die. That's like a weird fear I have. But I really want him to just be like, Bush, and then just start sipping away. That's all I want.
Like up on a stage, like
No, sitting in the very back so everybody has to look around and stare at him. Yeah.
Like wait till it's quiet and then
Exactly. The music stops. It's going to be quiet for a little bit. People are going to cough as they do, and then just Bush.
That's amazing. I'm not a big drinker, but I'll tell you, there was a lot of Busch Light when I grew up in high school, and then there was a lot of Zima. Do you remember that?
No, he doesn't remember that.
Okay,
it was like Mike's Hard Lemonade when he was.
I like Mike's Hard. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know how old I am. I wasn't born until '97. So yeah, I definitely don't remember a lot of things.
Oh, Zima was amazing. It was like the pre-Trulies.
Ooh, I'm a big High Noon guy. In our group chat, they were like, I like to post pictures of like whenever I buy High Noons. Brennan's like, person, Dom, what's your favorite thing? And then I answer, just go Nooners. I was like, they're so good.
Do you have a favorite flavor? Because I have
passion fruit.
Okay.
I think passion fruit's the best. If you go with the tequila ones, lime is the best. Because then it just tastes like a margarita in a can.
Yeah, I tried those before.
I recently found out I might have a gluten intolerance, sadly, which I'm going to probably ignore. But tequila has risen on the list of alcoholic beverages, so I'm going to give it a shot because it doesn't have any gluten.
You can buy there's like a variety pack for the vodka ones. You can get like passion fruit, mango, I think strawberry, and then there's another one. The tequila ones they're not as good as the vodka. And then what's funny is I prefer tequila. But like the lime tequila is really, really good. But passion fruit is the best one.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah, notes taken.
You get a 4-pack for like $12.
So he was born in 97. Just reverse that to when I was born, 79.
78 here. So we're a bunch of old men over here.
Old men.
I want to know the answer to this question because I was asked it. So I'm going to bring it up again because I want to know what Matt would say. I don't know how the question was posed. So
did we ask you like your last meal?
Yes.
Yeah. So Matt, you have well as both of you, just in case it's changed. It's your last day. We have a few iterations of it. So right now it's your last day. What is like your last day on earth in terms of food? You could do breakfast, lunch, dinner. You could do just dinner. I'm a big like I usually skip lunch. I don't know. Sue me. Prefer like breakfast and then like dinner. So what would be like your go-to breakfast, your go-to lunch, and then your go-to dinner, and then you're just being lowered by Bone Thugs and Harmony into the ground.
Well, yes, if it's my last day on Earth, I'm going to eat like a pig.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So, like, my breakfast is eggs Benedict with bacon. Mm-hmm. That's my breakfast. Have to have it. I'm like old school American. For lunch, I'm going to do a lot of sushi. Like, I really like ahi tuna and salmon sushi. And then for dinner, it's going to be prime rib, baked potato with hollandaise sauce. And that's it. No greens. No greens.
You're not doing like a salad or anything?
Why? What's the point?
I love salad. It's like a good appetizer.
Well, I figure since I'm eating like a pig all day, I'll need all the room I can get.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm weird when it comes to like if I just eat too much meat, right? Like sodium, I need something sweet. Like I don't know what it is, but like I need something sweet. I'll literally like crave sweets after if I was to just eat a bunch of steak. Like I would for some reason need like I don't know, like cheesecake or something. I don't know, right? Like I need something sweet to like top that off. I don't know that I could officially end my last day on earth without having something sweet. Because it would just drive me nuts.
So you're saying you need ice cream or something?
Yeah, I mean, we can get into me. I think I'd start my day off with a bowl of Lucky Charms. Funny enough, they're gluten free, by the way. I did not know that, but
really?
Like, yeah. So Lucky Charms to start off my day. I think I'd probably skip lunch too, just because I'd want to save all of that for. There's this place in the Midwest in Nebraska called Taco John's, and they have the best soft shell tacos that you'll ever have.
No, we have Taco John's here too. It's not just like an.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. So they're like super
but
heavy.
Taco Bell is better.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
What is it? What's the name?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. So Taco John's. Have you heard of Taco John's?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying Taco Bell is better than Taco John's?
A heartbeat.
No way. No way.
Hell yeah.
No way. You're in the wrong Taco John's. So I will say this: location matters because different owners do things differently. Where I grew up in Nebraska, absolutely no question about it. Taco John's soft shells.
I do like their potatoes.
Potato lays are amazing. Yes. They have a Taco Bravo there, which is incredible. Taco Bell has gotten better though. I got to give you that.
Taco Bell. So normally we do this at Derek's, not to get too off topic. On my way home, I'll get Taco Bell. And then like the issue is I'm good friends with Tacos at the Turn, and he like hates how much I love Taco Bell.
I had a lot of Taco Bell in my youth.
I'm still in my youth.
Well, true. Like in college, usually after midnight, usually not sober. There was a lot consumed at that hour as well.
The best. There was one night my buddy and I have been drinking, so we're not driving. So we were both a little, we were drunk, and I had ordered on the app and just sent his brother to go get it. I didn't realize how much I ordered until the next morning. You know how hard it is to spend $40 at Taco Bell?
Hey, it's getting easier.
It's getting easier now, but yeah, seriously, especially when you're only getting like hard shell tacos and bean burritos, right?
No, I think we had like everything. We're just like to the cart, and I was like, yikes. It
There
was
used
so
to be a $20 challenge. Like go, I used to try to do this with my kids. I'd be like, go, we have 20. Like I don't think you can eat $20 worth of food at Taco Bell. Like you just can't do it. You
oh, I
just
promise you I can.
probably you can today
I
because
just won't keep it down.
yeah, I think back in the day when things were closer to a dollar or so, it was a little bit tougher. Today, I think a taco there is like $5, but um, yeah, it was a. I think it's probably more of like a $40 challenge now, which is unrealistic. But um, solid food, solid Mexican choice, absolutely. If you like, Tex-Mex or whatever they call that, I don't even know.
Oh,
Um,
John.
Taco John's is legit though. I don't care who you are. If you're ever in Grand Island, Nebraska, go to Taco John's on South Locust. So there you go.
If I ever go to
Sweet.
Nebraska.
If you ever go to Nebraska, yeah. Why would you go to Nebraska?
Hey, you never know. Sometimes you get there and you're stuck there. That's the way it is. So if you're there, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're ever passing through, because the I-80 goes right through Grand Island, be like, hey, I was listening to this random podcast and some guy said to go and check out this Taco John's place, South Locust. You won't regret it.
Okay, so you would have Lucky Charms in the morning. Are you doing Taco John's for dinner?
Yep. 6-pack and a pound. That's 6 soft shells and a pound of potato lays.
What are you doing for dessert after all the salt? Are you getting like I guess we might as well wrap it up. Like, are you getting like a Dairy Queen Blizzard or what are you doing?
Yeah, maybe actually Dairy Queen or a churro or something, just some like shit, I don't even know, a pack of Skittles. Anything to really like round that off. But that's just
I had a really good churro at a Giants game when we were there.
oh yeah, they make
Oh,
great.
good.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
probably
probably-
$20, but it was really good.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for it.
You had a great time in the Bay then, man. You got to go golf Half Moon Bay and you got to go to a Giants game. I mean, that's amazing.
Dude, that's not even the half of it. So you were saying how like you get really nervous playing in tournaments and everything earlier. Um, I have never played in a tournament, and then one of the guys left hours, and they're like, "Dom, you're playing." The issue is I was drunk, so I'm playing, and like there's not a care in the world because I'm like running around with like cans of Modelo after I've done shots with everybody, and just carefree. And I'm at the point where I'm just like swinging and like cracking jokes with people. The only thing I remember is we took one of my shots and I was like, that's it. I'm good. And the issue is it was our own tournament that we threw as the shindig. But yeah, we had a great time in the Bay. We landed at SFO. That was its own little adventure because we had one of the only car rental places that wasn't on the property. So that was fun. Thanks, Derek. Um, we got to the Airbnb and then we immediately went to Target, which is funny because it's a Minnesota thing. So you're welcome for Target. That's a Minnesota company. Um, what else did we do? We went, I think like one of the first days we were there, we met up with Jordan from Odin and saw the bridge and everything and taking all sorts of pictures. Did the touristy stuff, and then we played Prune Ridge, I think. I don't know. Dropped a dart, almost got a hole in one. That was pretty cool.
Nice
Uh
work.
yeah. And I couldn't see the ball. Like I hit it and the sun was in my eyes. I just walked away. I'm like, I can't see it. And it just like dropped. And then I had to two putt for par. So that was fun. Thanks for the video, Jordan. Um, yeah, dude, we did so much stuff. We hung out with like a really cool crew of everybody. I think Half Moon Bay, I think directly after that, we went to Hop and Vine. The only thing I didn't get to do is go to a Niners game, but obviously they weren't playing.
Yeah, wrong time of year.
I know, but we saw the Giants. We went to Alcatraz. It was a blast, dude. It was super fun. Everybody in the Bay was super nice to us. It was kind of just like a big like reunion with people that we've never met before, if that makes sense. It was super fun.
What time of year were you there?
End of May, early June.
Oh, great time of year. Great time.
And we didn't get any rain. And then like the day we left, it just poured. We
Good
had
timing. So it's like
we had-
right there on the fine line.
yeah, we had an Airbnb in San Jose. and a lot of the crew joined us after. So like we had Brian and Brendan from Duffin Up. It was Derek and I, and then we had Luke from Backblast, and we were all playing Half Moon Bay. And Luke texts me, he's like, "Hey, I'm landing." I was like, "Cool. Here's the address. Here's the code to get in." He gets in, and that's the last thing I heard from him. We get back, and we're like, "Where's Luke?" And he's sitting out on the patio with this smirk on his face. And he stands up, and I'm like, "Oh my god, you are the biggest human being I've ever seen." On his page is a video of him next to Patty the Batty, Patty Pimblett, the UFC fighter, and he's like the same size as Patty. And I was like, "You'd beat the shit out of me." And then he like bear hugged me, and I was like, "You're not gonna beat the shit out of me." Turns out he got bored waiting for us, so he walked to Costco, bought 2 cases of seltzers, and walked back. So in our B&B fridge, it was like straight up just like the 2 top shelves are just alcohol, and then there's like bread.
So you guys had to like make room for food. Oh darn.
Yeah. We went out the night before the shindig, which is what we were calling our tournament. Um, and I I think I'd only paid for 1 drink. Um, Bought a mango margarita because and then they're like, "Dom, why are you buying these?" Like, sure, just that was my first night with high noons. I didn't know what they were, so I'm just drinking them, pounding them back. I'm like, "Do these have alcohol?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Oh, keep it going." Um, we end up leaving to go to an Irish pub where I'm continually taking people's drinks. We ended up drinking all the high noons out of this pub, and they're like, "Hey, they're gone." And I was like, "Oh, that's not good." So they went to like a dance club, which was kind of weird. Um, and what I remember doing is I went up to the bartender, and it's me and Brian. I'm like, "High noon me, please." And he goes, "No, we have Topo Chico." And I said, "Topo Chico me, please." And they went down pretty easy. I then convinced a couple of us to go find the Taco Bell Cantina, which has alcohol. So I'm sitting down there and I'm like ordering everything on like on the tablet. So I got my 3 tacos, and then I got like a cherry Skittle slushy, which is so good. But then I had them add rum to it. So at this point, I'm feeling it. And I'm just having a good time. Not realizing I have to wake up early the next morning to like go set up everything. And I'm eating my tacos, drinking my drink, and I put a taco in my hoodie pocket because I'm like, I'm taking this thing for later. I was like, yeah, what else are you gonna do? I see Jared's like, what the fuck? I'm like, dude, this is gonna be phenomenal. I was the life of the party. Um, I had my pocket taco and everything, and I'm hanging out. And then we leave, and then we get this call, and they're like, "Hey, did you take Luke with you?" We're like, "No, he said he didn't want to go." And we left Luke at the club, and I felt so bad. So I went home and ate my taco and went to bed. And yeah, and the next morning we had a shindig, and I'm doing shots with everybody and drinking Modelo's and just cranking them. It was a good couple days.
Yeah, so you know that there's next time you're in Half Moon Bay, there's a Taco Bell on the beach, like literally on the sand,
What?
and it's the Taco Bell Cantina
What? I could have had a
Yep.
Taco Bell cantina on the beach in the
on
ocean.
the beach.
I
Yeah,
didn't
like
know that.
there's a deck right out the front, and you're on the sand.
I'm pissed. I'm gonna make some phone calls.
So
I'm
Just
pissed.
go
next time you
back.
come back, next time you come
Yeah.
back,
Well, I mean, I
we'll
have
take
to
you
come
there.
back.
Yep, you have to. Basically, science.
Yeah, science rules. I'm pissed.
I'm glad you had a good time out there, though. It's a great energy out there. I don't know. Some of it's falling apart. I guess San Francisco, from what I've heard, is falling apart. But if you can keep keep to yourself and go do Giants games, you're probably okay.
Yeah, we
Don't
took the train, which the train sucked because it was like an hour and a half. I was like, good God. Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
Caltrain. Yeah.
yeah, we didn't run into really any issues, which was nice. I enjoyed San Francisco from what I saw of it. I definitely want to go back because there's a sandwich shop I want to try, and I wanted to see like the Leica store and just like a couple like odds and ends I wish I had time to do. but I understand that the trip wasn't just for me. Derek was there and everybody else was there, and we had a lot of people to meet, and so. But I'd like to go back. I think we're gonna do another tournament there eventually. Not the next one, but maybe we'll circle back around.
Excellent. Let us
Well,
know when you come to town.
yeah, I was gonna say, let us know when you do. I believe you had an event in Mountain View, or somewhere close to there. But next time you're out there, let me know, and Matt and I will make an appearance. I think it'd be great to hang out again for sure. And
Yeah, no, it was a Mountain View. I know the next one we're kind of looking at Portland. So if you want to come to Portland,
I love Oregon too. Yeah, I'm down for that too.
My
Never
sister
been.
lives in Portland, so I got a free place to stay.
Well, I guess we're going to Portland then. Sorry, Derek. Making that executive decision, I guess.
Sweet. Sounds good. Well, yeah. So thanks for having us on. It's good to meet you in person, kind of in person. Appreciate it,
Kind of
man. And
over screens, I don't know, but yeah, no, super fun. The product's super cool. I like that it's more accessible now. I think
yeah,
accessibility with products, especially in golf, is huge. Um, because I mean, like you guys were saying, it's expensive to play golf. So anytime you make a product accessible, reasonably priced, and works, I think is a win.
absolutely. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do here. And for all the listeners, just to remind you, save par 20 for 20% off. If you want to get one of these, try them out for yourself. Playumbrella.com is our website. You can get them there. We also are on Amazon. You can find us there as well.
Yeah, I get that 2-day shipping. All you Prime members.
I'll add it to the description and everything else, and do that for you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on, Dominic. I hope, Derek, you're feeling better by the time you hear this. And until next time, I can't wait to see your face. And hopefully we'll be golfing again soon. Let's make a goal to get Matt out there and give him the golf bug that we've all been exposed to.
Yeah, we should give out at the ocean course.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're in for the long haul then, Matt. If you go to ocean course, you're like,
I'm gonna have high standards, huh?
An all-day experience. Yeah.
You're like, I don't have to golf well. I just literally, it's like a walk in the park, or like a walk on the ocean, like on the beach, and you're hitting a golf ball every once in a while. It's great.
Like every hole I lost one, yeah, and I loved it.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool. Looking forward to it, guys.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on again.
Yeah, thanks again. Keep us in the loop, Save Par Golf. Like we want to, we love what you guys do. You're out there really spreading the word. And I think there's a lot of great companies and brands that have been on this podcast. It's an honor to be a part of that group. It's amazing to be able to have yet another conversation with you on this podcast. You and Derek are just two amazing individuals. It's a pleasure to know you both, to have met you, golf with you, continue to stay in contact. So, Umbrella Sports, SmartGrip, we're, Matt and I, however we can help and assist, we're here to help. So thanks again for having us on. Like Matt said, playumbrella.com, save par 20% off. I think I just might leave that discount code on. So if you happen to listen to this podcast, you've got access to 20% off that everybody else doesn't. So go take advantage of that. We're well aware of who our earlier customers are and who those are that are, early innovators and really jumping in there early to try something out new, and you will be rewarded. We really do appreciate everybody who has faith in the product, down the road as we grow and things get bigger. So we will not forget you, and we appreciate all the support we've had so far. So thanks again, Dominic. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and I appreciate the words and everything. Because we do this just to help people and grow the game, and we do it because we enjoy it. We don't do it for any money or products or anything like that. It just kind of comes along with the territory, but it's not something we ever ask for by any means. Unless we want to do like a review on it, which in that case, yeah, send it. But yeah, definitely appreciate you guys. If you want to hang out for like another few minutes after, we could definitely talk about a couple things that you guys might be interested in. So if you want to hang out for a little bit, I'm all yours.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right. Well, thanks for talking. Um, I don't know who I have on next week. I do know it's a surprise because I think I told Derek, but Derek's sick. Get well, Derek. Love you. Bye.